Good afternoon, everyone, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm very honored and moved, practically to tears, by just a little bit that I've been able to hear. I'm a member of the Cleveland Nonviolence Network. Some of you may be familiar with it because for 10 years we sponsored the Peace Show, and one of the impetuses for Cleveland Nonviolence Network beginning was that we needed a forum to speak to the U.S. militarism, which is one of its many violences, racism, and all of those things that are wrapped up in when we choose not to respect each other and our humanity. And the Cleveland Nonviolence Network is working on a couple of things. One of the things that we're working on for the presence of the Republican National Convention being in Cleveland is what Larry was mentioning, is some kind of forum. We've called it the People's Convention. But there's another part that we're hoping to kind of knit these things together, and we're calling it RNC, Real Neighborhoods of Cleveland. We're planning today to flesh out some of those things. We're going to need lots of people to help us and guide us and to shape all of the things that we're hoping to put together. For the People's Convention, we know there are lots of activists that are going to be coming into town. We want to introduce them to our city and the realities that are happening here. And that would be in the form of a convention, put together a platform that would be real people's issues that speak to ending the violences that we all suffer. In the tours part, we hope to complement some of the education that's going to be happening with the platform by showing people on the ground how these policies are playing out for ourselves and our children. And so one of our meetings is today. It's typically on Saturdays at 2 o'clock here at North Presbyterian Church. We do two breakouts because some people are part of the People's Convention planning group, and some of those same people are part of the tour group. So we do 2 and 3, so people that want to participate in planning for both can be at both meetings. What I'd like to also mention that the Cleveland Nonviolence Network has this idea that it's been spinning around, and I think that a group of people like you might be the ones that could actually spark it. In 1905, people in Nashville, 50 years before Rosa Parks, sponsored a boycott. It was a transportation boycott in response to some Jim Crow laws. For many years, people considered the boycott a failure because the laws were passed and public transportation continued to be segregated. However, there were other things that were a success. And one of the things that happened with the boycott is that people who did not spend their money on segregated transportation banked it and eventually created a bank called the 1 Penny Bank. And now it's called the Citizens Bank. One idea that the Cleveland Nonviolence Network would like to take to the community is, in response to the Tamir Rice murders and all the other murders that have happened, we organize a boycott so we can get everybody participating to say, we want this kind of violence to stop now, and we're willing to put our money to it. And even if we fail, we might have the product of a bank or a fund that can continue to fund activism in Cleveland, because we know that a lot of things don't happen because we don't have the money. So we'd like to get people together to talk about how can we do a boycott. It can be everyone not paying $2 of their CPP bill, or everyone not paying $2 of their first energy bill. It has to be something that everyone can share and everyone can participate in, and is ongoing, and it shows that, and we can gather more people, and it shows that we mean what we say. And boycotts are historically one of the tools of nonviolence. So that's one idea that we'd like to have a long dialogue about and roll something out. It can be this summer, it can be an anniversary, because we know that this is a marathon to create the Cleveland that we all want to live in. The other idea is, before the RNC comes to town, we'd like to have a group of citizens ask the FBI, the U.S. Attorney's Office, and the Cleveland Police Department to sit down with us and just say, we don't want to happen to all the activists that are in town during the RNC what happened to Occupy. We just want to be clear that we know that what they did to Occupy was wrong, and we want to call it out, because I don't think enough attention was paid to what happened to the Occupy movement and to the people that were ultimately prosecuted. And we want to bring a voice that says, we remember what you did, we're calling you out on it, we don't want it to happen again. So those are a couple of things that the Cleveland Nonviolence Network is asking people to come and talk to us about and support us in the dialogue. The Cleveland Nonviolence Network has made a commitment to do an ongoing presentation for the next 5 years. We started in December, called The State of Nonviolence, where we have a weekend where people talk about how nonviolence is happening and changing